Welcome to the Selling from the Heart podcast on the From the Heart Business Network. You've joined a global movement of sales professionals who are dedicated to being authentic and building trust. We call it Selling from the Heart. Together, we're on a mission to bring sincerity and substance to the sales profession we all love. Get ready to be inspired and equipped as we join our hosts, Larry Levine and Darrell Amy.
Hiring salespeople based on a resume or a great interview is like drafting players based on their Instagram highlights. They look amazing in the clips. That's until the real game starts.
Exactly. Every CEO's been there. The interviews go great. You think you're bringing a top performer onto your team, but once they hit the field, they can't close, won't prospect, and blame the leads.
That's exactly why we recommend Sales Index Unlimited Candidate Assessments. It's your sales recruiting engine that screens every candidate against 21 proven sales competencies, benchmarked against 2.5 million sales professionals worldwide. That is more than a personality profile. You'll know with confidence who can sell and who will actually do the work.
Because the best teams don't just fill positions, they build a bench. They're always scouting for great players who can perform under pressure.
For just $2.99 a month, you can build your own bench of ready-to-sell talent, coachable, driven, and proven before they ever get the jersey.
So stop guessing. Start scouting like a pro.
Go to unlimited.salesindex.ai. That's unlimited.salesindex.ai and start building your next sales all-star team today. Hello and welcome back to the Selling from the Heart podcast. Your co-host, Darrell Amy, here today with Larry Levine. What's going on, Larry?
Oh, hey, dude, what isn't? Great seeing you. I know we're in for a treat here. I cannot wait to bring our friend into the podcast studio.
If you have been in a negotiation, you're going to love this conversation with our friend Todd Caponi. Welcome to Selling from the Heart. This is so much fun. We're having a blast here at Selling from the Heart. We're glad you've joined us. And what continues to happen week after week is we meet new friends in this community of sales professionals that say, yeah, I believe in being genuine. I believe in being authentic. I'm all about building trust. I'm all in on that. This community continues to grow. So we always love to give a shout out to one of our friends.
You know, absolutely. Steve Shoemaker, I appreciate you. You wave the flag as a sales leader, going out there, making it happen. You're out in your car all the time with your salespeople. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of this Selling from the Heart community.
Absolutely. Well, today's guest is no stranger to Selling from the Heart, and he is on a mission to elevate the sales profession through something many overlook: radical transparency backed by behavioral science. Todd Caponi is a sales strategist, keynote speaker, advisor, and multi-time author who helps organizations rethink how they sell, how they negotiate, and how they lead. Todd is the author of one of my all-time favorite books, The Transparency Sale, The Transparency Sales Leader, and now his latest work, The 4 Levers of Negotiation. This is a powerful framework that shows sales professionals how to negotiate with confidence by focusing on what truly drives decisions. Instead of pressure, tactics, or posturing, Todd teaches us how transparency reduces friction, builds trust faster, and creates better outcomes for both sides of the table. Todd, welcome back to Selling from the Heart. It's great to have you here today.
Guys, I cannot, you guys are instant bad mood erasers. I just love hanging out with you. I feel like, was it Regis Philbin who was on Letterman's show like 8 times? Like I'm trying to do that with Selling from the Heart. So
I've always said Todd's welcome anytime he wants.
Anytime.
That's right. Well, I'll be here.
There's a new book.
Let's keep going.
It's going to be good. But before we dive into this great topic of negotiation, since you are a repeat offender, Todd, you know the answer. The question we ask every guest, and that is, what does Selling from the Heart mean to you?
Yeah, and I try to come up with something new, but it keeps going back to this idea that, you know, it feels good to be honest and to be, you know, truthful with our clients, but turns out it sells better too. And so I'll start with transparency sells better. it leads better, it grows better, it negotiates better, it creates advocates better than trying to pretend to be perfect in all things to all people. And I will layer in a little sales history here. Arthur Sheldon, 1911, The Art of Selling, his quote, "True salesmanship is the science of service. Grasp that thought firmly and never let go." That's what selling from the heart means to me. Is our role is meant to be a service profession, help customers achieve optimal outcomes, things maybe they never thought possible, and do it through that lens of transparency. And that's always been my mantra, and that's why I love you guys. So,
and likewise, I sit here and I mean, I bob my head up and down because I buy everything that you throw out there. But here's what's interesting, especially when it comes to this transparency and honesty. I think a congruency, and there's a lot of talk out there. And I know we're going to dive into a great time together here today on the podcast, but there's a lot of talk out there. But something tells me the walk doesn't match the talk. And today's buyers are smelling it immediately.
Well, yeah. I mean, are you talking in terms of AI and kind of the rise of all that too? Or, yeah.
I mean, throw that in the mix as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's funny that, so I'll go on a quick little tangent here, but there's one of the programs I teach is kind of like a presentation choreography, formal messaging framework. And I always teach it opposite to what Kahneman and that crew talked about in terms of loss aversion, right? Like loss aversion, like we'll run twice as fast away from a pain than and I'm like, that's true. That's cool. I don't sell that way. And here's what I mean. I teach that. Somebody comes up to me afterwards and is like, Todd, man, like that doesn't jive with what we're taught. We're taught to find the pain, stick our finger in it, jig it around like that, and make it hurt, right? And make it feel like that cost of inaction. And I'm like, you sound like a blast to hang out with. The sale, like loss aversion's true.
Yeah.
I was driving down the street and I drove by the Burger King drive-through, and there's 10 people in line. 11 million people go to Burger King every day. I mean, are they avoiding pain? Like there's short-term and long-term pain, right? Like people going out boozing all night, they know they're going to hurt tomorrow morning. In sales, we talk about, long-termism and all that kind of stuff. But then at the end of every month, we're discounting the crap out of deals, knowing that multiplies over and over and over again. So argument number one is loss aversion is true, but we as human beings, we actually run to the immediate gratification over the avoidance of long-term pain. Like that's just what we do. And number two is the deal's no longer the peak of the selling engagement. Like we need customers to buy, stay, buy more, advocate, take us with them to their next company. I think just being a cooler human being is to look at pain. There's two ways to explain everything, but one of my clients, their customers are going through a rapid, there's regulations that are driving cybersecurity and all that kind of stuff. And they're taught to go, hey, if you don't do this, we're all going to die. Like that kind of thing. And instead, what I taught them to do is go, hey, listen, wouldn't it be cool to get ahead of that? While all your competitors are struggling and trying to figure it out and costs are booming, you're the one going, box checked. Like that's just my lens on it, is that we kind of talk, like we've got all of these philosophies and stuff, but so often we're applying them wrong, number one. And number two, to your question, Larry, is we all understand long-termism and that we should go for the long term, but so many organizations have this short-term focus from discounting to illuminate the pain and dig it around. Like, I just don't think that's sustainable. And I'm all in for a world of trying to get us to think more long-term, because inevitably I think it's required.
God, I couldn't agree more. I think I much rather sell on vision than sell on distress. And if you talk carrot and stick, I mean, the carrot's right out in front of you. The stick's going to whack you right away. But most of the pain is delayed. Like it's delayed, and so good. But we're here today to talk about the negotiating book. Hey, everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're not watching on YouTube, why aren't you watching on YouTube? We have so much fun on YouTube. But I'm holding up Todd's latest book, The 4 Levers of Negotiating, the simple, counterintuitive way to higher deal values and lasting trust. Todd, I was watching you teach on this book, and the way you characterized how we go through the entire sales process, building trust, being consultative, and being so nice. And then it gets down to negotiation. And it's like we just flip the table all of a sudden, literally. Talk to us about that, because I think this is such a realistic picture in this selling from the heart landscape.
Yeah, I mean, you teed it up so perfectly. Like sales is supposed to be building relationships and focusing on customer outcomes, like you said, painting what's possible. And then they say yes. And then we, at least at a subconscious level, go, all right, cool. I'm going to start lying to you now. I'm not going to tell you what a good deal is. And I know we were focused on your outcomes, but now it's really about my outcomes. Oh, failed to mention, I learned all I know about negotiating from former FBI hostage negotiators. Like that to me just seems a bit bananas, right? And like no shade to Never Split the Difference, like great book, right? It encapsulates like FBI intrigue and behavior. It was so cool. But I just don't think it's sustainable to have every one of your customers paying a different amount based on how well or poorly you negotiated the deal either. With the proliferation of information, AI exposing pricing models already, I just don't think that it's funny that like one of these old stories behind me, it was from 1905, talked about a salesperson who, when they were out selling, they discovered, and unfortunately their customers discovered, that the bigger the jerk customer, the better price they got because they put so much pressure on the rep. The rep's like, all right, you take a discount. Their buddy, the one they have a great relationship with, is paying more. Like, how is that sustainable too? And they got together and they were talking, hey, mom, how much do you pay? And they're like, wait, I thought you were my buddy, right? And like, I think that world of having every customer paying a different amount is just not going to be sustainable much longer if it isn't already.
Oh, I was going to say, so you got to peel these levers back, because I'm curious, why is there 4 levers, not 3, not 5?
Yeah.
What's the thought process and what's going on in Todd's head when he said there's 4 levers?
So I'll tell you what happened. So 2008, I get promoted to be SVP of sales of a tech company out of the Valley. And I sucked at traditional negotiating, right? Like the lying, the FBI, like that's just not me. Lying to me, like you can just see it all over me. Well, I get thrown into a negotiation, right? A rep who had gotten the verbal and the customer was like, hey, we got to talk through the pricing. And the rep's like, I got to call my manager. And so they were like, well, whoever that manager is, let's get him in a room and let's get this deal done because we got to go. And so I flew down to Houston, get in the room. It's not just this one guy. And again, like I was okay because it was going to be my rep, this one guy and me. They brought their whole procurement team.
Oh.
And as a matter of fact, there was a woman by the door that was just like go, man. Like one of those people that loves like a haymaker throw in negotiation. And I'm like, this is my first entree into sales leadership. I'm trying to make an impression on this rep too. This is an important deal. And I'm about to get boat raced right out of here. Well, the good news is I got lucky because like my anxiety starts going and I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? I had just had a conversation with my CFO a couple of days earlier, and he was talking about the things that drive our business, and they drive every B2B for-profit business. And so I'm thinking, like, this is fresh on my mind too. I walk in, they're ready to kill me. And I'm like, hey, there's a whiteboard behind you. Do you mind if I just share? And I'm trying to buy some time, like the 4 things that drive our business and our pricing model. And they're like, yeah, sure, dude, whatever. Have fun. Here's a pen. Like completely indifferent. And so I wrote down the 4 things. And they're the 4 things, like I said, that drive every for-profit business in the world. And yours, theirs, everybody's. And so here's the 4. Number 1 is volume, or how much stuff you buy. Every business and pricing model is driven by more stuff, better. Buy less stuff, not as good. Mm-hmm. Number 2 is most companies like money, so the timing of cash. The faster you pay for that stuff, the better. Pay faster, better than paying slower. Number 3, the length of commitment, or how long you commit to that stuff. Longer commitments better than short. And then number 4 is the timing of the deal, or predictability. being able to have mutual alignment around timing helps with forecasting accuracy and investment, which is valuable, but also to resource. So I write those 4 things up there. They looked at them and they're like, that's fascinating. Like they could not give a crap. I think they might have been most impressed with my penmanship at that point, but that was about it. But they immediately, throw the grenade on the table and they're like, we're ready to move forward, but we're 35% off, right? Like we need to get 35% off of this deal in order to move forward. Now, what did I do? Well, I could go into the value ROI argument, right? Which that ship has sailed, right? Mm-hmm. Like if I'm talking about, well, we believe in a value, I'm like, shut up. I could start playing ping pong, which is like, I can do a 10% discount. I don't even need to ask for approval for it. And we start playing that where we're just giving away discounts in the form of charity to their bottom line just because they asked. Or we go to the 4 levers. And so that's what we did. I took them through it and, hey, commit to more volume. That's something we'd pay you for in the form of a discount. Pay us faster, commit longer, help us forecast. That became the cards face up approach. Immediately, it went from customer vendor to a bunch of people sitting around a table with our cards face up going, hey, this is what our pricing model is based on. And so if you need something, let's see how close we can get you to the 35%. Pulp Fiction style, I'll go to the end of the story. They ended up paying us all for a 3-year commitment up front, which we paid them for. This was a $2.5 million a year, 3-year deal. Wow. They committed to pay us all 3 years up front, and they helped us forecast. We got them part of the way to their discount, but for every dollar we gave away in the form of a discount, we got something of value back. That's the whole point here. This idea that those 4 are theirs too. It's not 3, it's not 5, it's those 4. You can have a collaborative discussion because they care about the exact same 4, and those buyers, they want to commit to as little as possible, pay as slowly as possible, commit to the shortest period of time possible, and sign whenever the heck they want. So now you're starting to trade. And it's meant to reduce the anxiety, to create a sound basis for your pricing and make it totally collaborative, but also make it scalable so that when they talk, when they buy more, when they renew, when they go to other companies, they can bring those 4 levers with them.
Brilliant. And I love the walking up to the whiteboard. I watched Larry do that years ago. I love selling off a whiteboard. And when you start to model that out and go, okay, yeah, I love the cards on the table approach. Super, super brilliant. So,
actually, Darrell, I've got to inject a little more history in here because I'd be crazy.
Always.
So 1910, Thomas Herbert Russell, his book, Salesmanship, Theory and Practice. We joked about one line from here before we hit record, which is, buyers no more nowadays. That's 1910, 116 years ago. But there's a sentence under it that I start the new book with that I think is so important. All right. And it's this idea: the knowledge of buyers has increased, and they are no longer disposed to pay what is asked of them unless persuaded in their minds that the sellers regulate their prices on some sound basis. All right. Some sound basis. So let's pick that for a second. When you go to the grocery store, you don't fill your cart and then go to the cashier and be like, I have a budget issue. I need a 20% discount. They'd be like, buy 20% less, jackass.
Yeah.
Right? Like that. Yeah. We wouldn't ask. We just assume the price is the price because there's some sound basis. Gas station, restaurants. We know the price is based on something, so we don't think to negotiate. In B2B, we walk into sales engagements like, here's the proposal, right? Like we start walking away, and then as soon as they start asking for stuff, we start going, oh, you need net 60 instead of net 30? We can do net 45, right? And we tell the customer right out of the gate, hey, that price, that was a proposal. Come at me and see what you can get. I think we've created a sound basis problem. And so much of the 4 levers is designed to create a sound basis. Hey, here's the price. It's based on these things. Here you go. And as they ask for anything, they want to pay slower, they want to commit shorter, they need a discount, they want termination for convenience, they want to do a pilot, any of those things, you can go back to the 4 levers and go, all right, cool, let's work together on this and figure out a solution for you. So sound basis with flexibility within the levers.
Hey, Darrell, I'm sitting here listening to Todd, and this is just flashing through my head, and we see this. Selling from the heart with the help of Sales Index, we're running data and analytics on sales teams. And this points to this, guys, this is where salespeople, and this is the opportunity. Salespeople are struggling with business conversation, business 101, business acumen, right? Financial knowledge. What you're talking about is all of this that through data and analytics is coming out, exposing the light on this on, hey, leaders, there's a problem here. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what the thing that about 4 levers negotiating that I fell on it in 2008. And I was like, wait, that was easy. And I didn't feel slimy. And we left as friends. Like, that's cool. And I kept developing it. In 2011, I joined the sales leadership team at a company called Exact Target. And with my team, I rolled this out. And they were like, this is so easy. Like, the anxiety's gone. And they had me roll it out to the whole sales organization. And I heard reps that, they were hired there with sales experience that included, they had a lemonade stand in junior high. Like, that was about it, right? And them all of a sudden being able to have, to your point, Larry, like collaborative conversations with customers that confidently, like once you internalize the 4 levers, you can go, hey, here's the price. This is what it's based on. Here, like, there you go. And it doesn't matter if you've been selling for 2 weeks or you've been selling for 30 years, and it scales from the smallest of the small to the biggest of the big. It's designed to be like, this is stupid. Like, it's so easy. Like, let's go. That's the point. And through your point about business acumen and having those kind of conversations, remember, confidence is contagious. You just internalize that. You can confidently deliver your price. That's half the battle right there. Like, negotiation aside, being able to deliver the price with confidence, not like a cocky jerk, like hey, here's the price. This is what it's based on. And by the way, we got 1,000 customers that are paying this. You can walk in confidently, deliver it, and now you've set the foundation for an easier end of the deal versus FBI hostage techniques that erode trust right at the most important point of the sales process, which is the goal line.
So good. If you're listening and you haven't already hit pause and grabbed 4 levers in negotiating, the link is in the show notes. You got to get this book. So probably the most dreaded words and the most expected words to hear as a salesperson at the end of the transaction is, we need a discount. So coach us through this. It's in the book, but everyone's going to grab your book anyway. So coach us through. Yeah, that's great, Todd. We need a discount.
Yeah, and I think that's really the power of this, and it should be easy. So I advocate for 3 steps in handling any concession request. And again, the 3 are so simple. Like, again, this isn't rocket science. Step 1 is going to blow your minds, so buckle up. It's be human. Be a human being, right? Hey, Darrell asked for a discount. Like, okay, like, tell me about why. Like, is it a perception of value issue? Is it a budget issue? Like, don't you want to know, right? Yeah. Don't change personalities. Like, and then step 2 is remind them of the 4 levers, right? Like, oh, you need a discount. Cool. Remember, our pricing is based on these 4 things: volume, how much you buy; timing of cash, how fast you pay; length of commitment, how long you commit; and then a mutual alignment to the timing of the deal. Let's walk through them one by one together and see if we can get you a little closer, right? Commit to more volume, pay us faster, commit longer, help us forecast. Those are the things we're willing to pay you for in the form of a discount or in the form of a concession. It should become a really easy discussion. And in the end, again, you have not lost your sound basis. I will tell you a couple of things. Number 1 being that the minute you give away anything for free, you've just blown it all up. So just always be a human, remind them of the 4 levers, and then collaborate with them. Cards face up to help them get a little closer. That's all we're talking about here.
So good.
And it's not, oh my gosh, it's not that difficult, but yet it is. It's not that difficult, yet it is, because there's a mindset play on this like none other. This is massive mindset play, Todd.
Well, yeah, and so much of it goes back to that confidence is contagious. I'll tell you a quick little crazy analogy, if you don't mind. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Au Cheval, restaurant in Manhattan, Chicago. They are known for their cheeseburgers. All right, so their cheeseburgers, they're fantastic, dude. Like they're so good, and that they're but like the place is packed, right? Getting a reservation is very hard. The cheeseburgers, mind you, are anywhere from $34 to $38 each. All right, and so the difference is like if you want bacon, if you want a egg on it, right? Like that's the difference between the 34 and the 38. Now, can you imagine walking into this packed restaurant and looking at the menu and going, gosh, that's expensive. I just saw down the street, there's a place, they're selling cheeseburgers. I think it's called McDonald's. And they're selling them, and you get fries and a drink with it for $8.50. $34. This is ridiculous, right? Like that, they'd be like, well, then go to McDonald's, right? Like there's never a question about it. Nobody's negotiating the price, and there's people proof behind you. This place is packed. It was hard to get a reservation. Those burgers are worth $34 to $38. Now, if Red Robin or some other place was like, well, they can do it, we should charge $34. They'd be out of business. The point being that if you have customers and they're paying an amount, that you've established a value, like this is what our solution is worth in the market, to be able to go in and deliver that with, hey, here's how much it costs and here's what it's based on. It's up to you. Like, and if we're way off, let's talk about that now versus 3 months from now. Because like, again, the greatest thing in the world, winning. Second place, lose fast.
Yep.
But third is when the discount asks come, like you just talked about, if you set that foundation early, like, hey, here's the price, here's what it's based on, that conversation does not become anxiety ridden. It becomes a, hey, remember what the price was based on? Let's walk through it together, see if we can get you a little closer. Or maybe you're buying too much stuff and you need to take some celery out of your shopping cart, right?
Yeah, and if you know of celery that's that expensive, I want to find out about that restaurant too. What a great conversation. What a practical topic that we don't ever talk about very much at all in the sales profession, yet it's every single deal we walk into. So as we wrap up, if you could say anything that would inspire our wonderful audience and all our friends out there in their quest for sales flourishing, what would you say?
Well, back to the negotiating for a sec. You talk about, we don't talk about it enough, right?
Yeah.
What I find really interesting going through all these books is that pre the 1970s, there weren't really any experts on negotiating, and there was a reason for that. That for the early period of the Industrial Revolution, we were a fair market type of environment and economy. What that meant is that manufacturers could set minimum prices because you had big guys that were trying to undercut little guys. Like there was all kinds of crazy stuff going on. That meant that salespeople had to sell value. And all of a sudden, 1975, we went from fair trade to free trade because the government was like, why are we protecting manufacturers? We should be protecting consumers. And as a result, 1975, Consumer Protection Act goes into play. Floor disappears. All of a sudden, we got to learn how to negotiate. And what's so interesting to me is the foundations for everything were built then that we still all use today. Like we haven't actually updated negotiating over the last 50 years pretty much at all. And again, the era is different. The feedback economy is different. The connectivity economy is different. AI is making things different. I hope that you can just listening to this, go incorporate it. Like if you don't want to buy the book, cool. Like just internalize the 4 levers and start injecting it into your conversations. I'm telling you, you're going to feel better. You're going to build better relationships to the goal line. Your customers are going to help you forecast if you do that 4th lever right. And your deal values are going to go up, not only within the companies that you're selling to, but as they tell their friends and as they take you with them. So 4 levers negotiate. It's meant to be stupid easy. Like, can't believe you actually wrote a book on it, but here you go. Like, take it and be inspired and watch your wallet fill up.
Oh, well, this is so good. This is so good. So good.
Yeah. So 50 years have passed without an update, but we got the update now, folks. 4 lever negotiation, 4 levers negotiating. Go grab the copy. Todd, thank you for being such a good friend to Selling from the Heart. Thanks for being such an inspiration. Thanks for putting the cookies on the bottom shelf for all of us on this book. It is phenomenal. We appreciate you, man, and we're cheering you on.
Well, thank you. You guys are the best, and I so appreciate being on. So thanks for having me.
That's our pleasure.
Love it. Always fun talking to Todd. And I'm having this moment of going, why aren't we talking about negotiating more? Because we're pulled into it every single day in this wonderful profession we call sales. And Todd's framework here is something you want to grab his book, leave a review, tell the other people in your bullpen about it at your company. I think this is going to be a real game changer for a lot of us.
Yeah. Hey, continue to hold that book up. Put the book back up for a second. So this is why you need to watch us on YouTube. I just got to key in and we'll wrap on this. Is the last 2 words on the cover of Todd's book is lasting trust.
That's right.
And I want us just to zero in on this for just a moment. We work so hard in our meetings, I know y'all do, to build trust, to build credibility throughout the whole entire process. Then why at the very end do you erode it when they start asking for price discounts and you turn to a complete knucklehead? First word that comes to my head. You've just eroded trust and credibility that you've worked so hard for. Bring meaningful value, business substance to the forefront. Watch what happens as trust and credibility goes like this.
That's right. There's no need to panic. There's no need to be anxious if you're prepared, and Todd's book will help you do that. Well, thank you for joining us today. Thank you to everybody who is leaving reviews and sharing this podcast. We love how this community of like-hearted sales professionals all over the world continues to grow. And if you made it to this point in the episode, you're a part of it, whether you know it or not. So we're glad you're here. We're glad you joined us today. We'll see you next time on Selling from the Heart. Until then, keep being genuine, keep being authentic, keep building trust. Use the 4 levers of negotiation, and most of all,
sell from the heart.